Mysticraven. All right, guys. So today I wanted to try a new trick with the DK healer. And the reason I want to try this out is because of the sets I'm running. So, as a healer, it's no surprise that I'm running Spellpower Cure. I'm also running the Sentinel. For me personally, this actually is a very good set for non-Templar healers. Specifically, Templar healers can run it, but I like it on non-Templar healers because it gives the stamina return. But also, a lot of players would tell you as a DK healer, I also run the Twilight's Remedy set. So what this set does is it gives magic recovery. It gives minor ages at all times, reducing my damage taken from dungeons and trial monsters by 5%. Also, I'm receiving 127 spell damage. The spell damage is nice because it increases healing. I wish I had max magicka, but the recovery is nice. And when an ally, now this is the big one, when allies activate a synergy of mine, they heal themselves for 22,165 health over 10 seconds. It's a hot, but here's the big importance. They gain minor force, increasing their critical damage done by 10%. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. So if players keep hitting this, they get the minor force. Now for a Stam user, that's usually not typically a problem, because when you go into the Fighters Guild and you go into Trap Beast, it will apply the minor force. The problem of it is with Magicka users, they don't typically have enough stamina to keep the uptime on this as consistent and have enough stamina to roll out of mechanics. So it can be kind of a like, okay, yeah, I'm going to lay down my rearming trap, but now if a mechanic pops, I'm fucked. That's where Twilight's Remedy kind of comes into play, but the problem of it is you need the synergy, right? Now, this is why I typically put the energy orbs on my bar, so it offers the synergy. Magicka users can pop it, and they get the minor force buff. But the problem of it is it has a global cooldown, right? There's a global cooldown attached to it, and it's kind of like, oh, shit. So what I'm deciding to try is the Blood Altar. Now, I ran this in the past on, one or two healers, and the cast time's always been kind of whatever for me. But this is the big one. Okay, I can use it. It'll apply the minor lifesteal to the enemies in the area. It heals the allies for 711 health every second when damaging them. But here's going to be the trick for me, right? Allies can also activate the Blood Funnel synergy to heal themselves for 46% of their max health. That's a synergy. That can activate the Twilight's Remedy, giving them the minor force. So it offers a synergy to the entire party, right? Every Magicka user can hit it, get the minor force, boom, done. So it's something I want to be trying to play with. And that's another thing. I'm actually going to bring my life down today, just a smidge, because Twilight's Remedy, with that, the minor ages I am reducing. I think I can kind of get away with like 18. So I'm going to bring this down to about maybe 6 on my health, and the rest into Magicka. Offset that just a tidbit. Maybe I have enough money, but yeah. But definitely, I wanted to try it. I was like, I have some skill points. Let's go ahead and try it. There's no harm in trying it. I'm going to be running a vet, so obviously. But we're going to bring this down to about... Get that food buff. 5's looking good. Because I'm reducing that damage, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, or it's going to make me panic. I think even that, we'll try it that way. Now when I go into my character, I should be slightly over 18. Yeah, perfect. All right. Recovery is looking really good, by the way, so let's go ahead. Let's try this out. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to drop if I have any dailies. I haven't been on this tune in a minute. Let's go see what it does. I'm kind of curious. If people hit the synergy, they'll get the minor force. No question there. Not a question. And I was like, the problem with Twilight's Remedy as there's not really a lot of healing abilities that offer synergy. And then I'm looking at Blood Fountain. I'm like, holy crap, wait a minute. It's got the 1.5-second cast, but if I get all my derated effects down, it should leave ample time for me to get it down, utilize it, offer the synergy, and get the buff out to the party members. You know, that would come in handy a lot of ways. A lot of ways. So we got the Blackheart Haven. Actually, I do want to do Blackheart Haven. So, and what was the other one? Hit him way too fast. Out in Hollow 1. Cake. So, Elden Hollow 1 and Blackheart Haven. Gonna go ahead. Oh, that's cake. I don't. Now remember, guys, we get the event coming up too. It's gonna be pretty nice. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be kind of interesting. I think it's going to play out well. Like I said, I never liked the idea of Blood Fountain before, but now with Twilight's Remedy, I was like, okay, here's the deal. Like, I could use Burning Talons for an activation, but a lot of the time, sometimes targets are immune, and then I have no synergy to offer, right? And it's, you know, certain mobs are just immune to it. So I was like, but no, Blood Fountain's not going to target any mobs. So the best aspect to that is it's going to offer the synergy regardless. So it's going to apply the buff. So I was like, yes, there's a cast time. Whatever. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I want to try it out. Because I'm running the remedy. You know, it's just, it is what it is. You know, I got, and the funny thing is, I only keep it applied on the back end because I don't need it being a static at all times. So I have the mace, I have the shield, you know, then I put it on my hands. That should be kind of divine. I was messing around with it. And then I have my, my ring of remedy. So, and I really hope they do something with, you know, those vets, you know, hard modes and try to offer us gold ways of getting our spell power, cure jewelry, and gold drop sets and dungeons. That because DLC don't offer. I need to charge this. That would be kind of cool in the near future if they do it ever. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing what it'll do. I'm hoping I get a freaking queue. What the hell? People aren't on today yet. Probably shortage of tanks. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta switch out of skills. Kind of running around here. I need to go back up here and slot that. Get my cauterize on, back on. Now, if you guys have noticed, I changed the look of my dude. I got that death mask from the Crown store, and it's pretty cool. And then I dressed them up in the I think it's the Knights. Oh, okay. That works. I'm gonna mute this for a second. Okay, I'm back. Let's see how it goes down. I'm kind of interested. I'm really wanting to see how this works out. I don't know why they do this. These bottom ones always pull. It sucks. Get my flames up. That's gonna be it. I gotta remember not to want to keep hitting it once it's down. Nice thing about it though, it's got a long duration. Stupid night blades. So far, not so bad. As long as they keep popping synergies, it's going to be really nice. A lot of tanks going with heals these days. Come on. What the hell are you guys doing? Shit. Thank God I got a beast-ass tank up there. I'm coming, dude. Chest too. Nice. The invigorating, but I only needed one more shield for something I was going to mess with. Subscriber of mine and a fellow PS4 player, Todd, we were talking about a build and using Knight's Errand, so it's kind of nice. I needed an extra shield, and I'm kind of jazzed that I just got that. It's invigorating, but... Now I wonder if I can see their buffs. Nope. Damn it. I'm trying to see my players buff. All I see are a bunch of dead corpses. It's not my fault if players don't know how to hit the synergies, by the way. I'm just offering it. If they don't do it, it's not my thing. Sometimes there's a heavy sack in here. No. Sometimes there's a heavy sack over here. No. Man, I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day. I'm liking this run. Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to see, you know, I wish I could, like, see their buffs. Make sure it's being applied, but sometimes, you know, if I take a look now, I see them. And on the PC, we can actually we have a, you know, a mod that allows me to see whoever I'm targeting. I see their buffs, everything. Helps me as a healer. On this platform, I don't have that accessibility, but the devs have done a great job with the icons, so I'm pretty happy about it. Now, as long as they hit that, once they hit that blood fountain, they'll get it. Now, you won't be able to stack these. That's the one thing. I'll tell them after this. No, that's all right. Going, I'm going, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. You got it. No. I didn't want the ball. There. There's a lot of good sets in this dungeon. I like this dungeon for the sets. I think this Undaunted is a tank one too. I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look. Actually, I think it's the DPS one. I'm not sure. That the Undaunted tank set works out really good, but just making life difficult by keep pulling. Stop! Jeez, man, Jesus. That poor dude is back there still fucking with those ads. Stop! I'll let him die. I hate dudes that are just all like... Ah, shit. Wrong one. I really like that shit they've been doing too. Works out really nice with cauterizing shit. Especially when you're hitting the shield, get that mitigation down real quick and it pops. I hate that it's 1.5. I feel like if it was 1 full second, it'd be a little bit more manageable. But, I mean, for what it's going to offer for the Twilight's Remedy is really good, actually. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, it's not one single target. Everybody can synergize. Boom, you know? That's what's going to be nice about this. Now they can activate the friggin' synergy. Now it's only going to be one time. I believe it's only one time because the way the effect happens is while it's up. So you would have to recast potentially, because let's take a look at this really quick. It lasts 30 seconds, right? And they can only activate it once, but the way Twilight's Remedy happens, it's every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, I don't know if you can do it, the synergy continuous, or what. I would have to play with it. Like, what's the cooldown effect? Is it when the duration's up? Because, you know, I don't know, man. Like, would you have to keep it going every 10 seconds through, or, you know, to get a new one down for the synergy to be reapplied? I have to get my dude to test this for me. Like I said, something I don't typically run, but I definitely wanted to play with. Love my DK healer. Cool. Nice. Which is... Nah, I don't know. When you use the... Probably use some more key. Oh, hello. Nice. Oh, heavy sack too. Yeah, sure I am now. Bring him over a little bit more. Done. Pretty cake. Yeah. Got like tons of bone pirates jewelry. Alright. Crazy, crazy. Like I said, I mean, for me it was kind of like, okay, Twilight's Remedy I'm going to be using. I can use the Burning Talons, but the problem of it is if targets are immune, it's not going to offer the synergy. It's only going to be applied to one. Whoever synergizes. Same thing with the orbs. But the Blood Fountain, everybody's going to be able to synergize with that. Right? So it'll apply the Minor Force across the board. I was like, that's an idea. Because any healer can do it. I'm testing all my DK because I run the Twilight Remedy on my DK healer. But ideally, it'll work in any healing kit, right? Any build for the healer that's going to be using Twilight's Remedy. Sure, it has 1.5 second cast time. It's kind of like, but, you know, depending on your other healer and what they're running, right, you will be able to deslot whatever the opposite of what they're running, put in the fountain, boom, done, over with. I'm going to sell some shit. I'll queue up the other one because, like I said, I am trying to level this and everything else. But I think it's a good idea. There's a couple of abilities that I haven't. Which one is the stat one? Is that? Yeah, no, thank you. I have Bone Pirates. Yeah, I might be able to use it on 2 characters. I'll keep it just in case, but whatever. Yeah, that was a good drop for me. But, yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I was thinking, like, of myself, wow, you know, why don't I try this? Why don't we give it a shot? No harm, no foul. You know, timing is going to be an issue, maybe. But other than that, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Just take this down enough to go queue up another one. Tons of empty of these. Yeah, it looks good. Good enough for now. Okay, Elden Hollow. One is the other one.
This is taking longer than I.
But yeah, it's going to be a while for the level. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I got to test is how often can you activate the synergy? Because with the set, with the remedy set, it's every 10 seconds that the minor force can be applied, right? every 10 seconds. It offers the hot. So can I activate? Can they activate the synergy from Blood Fountain more than once while it's down? You know what I'm saying? And I'll have to get my dudes to test this, because do I need to do a recast between each duration? Because a 30-second duration, it's a long duration, well worth the 1.5 seconds. But if they can't keep activating it, or let's say they need like corpses to activate it, that is going to be problematic, especially in boss fights that have no ads or whatever. But the simple fact that everybody can activate it becomes really attractive for the Twilight's Remedy set. That's what becomes attractive, to utilize the Blood Altar on top of the Twilight's Remedy, because the way the synergy works. But if it can only be activated once during its duration, which is 30 seconds, would recasting it reset the cooldown effect? So I have to get my boys on. We'll have to go make a couple runs, make a couple tests to kind of find out if this is true, because the 20-second lapse is still going to be debatable. But like I said, I love the Twilight's Remedy. I think it's a great set, especially for Magicka users. For Stamina users, it's kind of like, I already have Minor Force because I have Rearming Trap. But a lot of Magicka users, you know, like I said, don't want to use Rearming Trap because you don't have a lot of stamina. And to lose out on that DPS boost, well, it's kind of like, oh shit, you know, do I slot Rearming Trap, boost up my damage, and give up you know, potential roll, dodge, or block in a mechanic, you know, a crucial mechanic? That becomes questionable. That's to each individual's own personal decision. But if you alleviate it, if you can remove it and say, okay, you don't need Rearming Trap on your mag build, because I'm going to be using the Remedy. Now the mag user is going to be, or even Stam, you could say, okay, I have Twilight's Remedy, everybody can sync up. Now you can take out Rearming Trap. Rearming Trap is still good DPS for the builds, for Stam builds. So I don't think Stamina users would still deslot it. For Magicka users, though, this is a big deal. It's like, okay, yeah, now I can, you know, synergize, hit it, boom, get the Minor Force. It's going to be applied. The DPS is, I don't have to worry about slotting it on my bar. So, and most of the time, that's why I don't run it. I know it gives me the 6% boost, but a lot of times I want to be aware of mechanics. I don't know what's going on within my group play. So I might have to go in for a res. I might need to roll dodge while I'm resing because the mechanic's going to land on top of me. These are little things that I can't necessarily afford to do if I'm casting a rearming trap and all of a sudden my stamina is depleted. And DKs, it's one thing, because you can use an ability, regain stamina, but not everybody has that capability. Mag users, mag DKs also don't get a really good Magicka return in their you know, passives or kits or abilities, except draw essence. But other than that, you're kind of like, you know, oh shit, you know, your resource management for a DK, mag DK, can be a little bit like, oh, I can't burn out too quick, or else now I'm going to be weaving up to recoup. So, you know, timing's everything. Dot duration's nice though. I mean, seriously, I think mag users all have that problem, even if you have a good you know, way of sustaining, because we typically want to burn down quick, where, you know, Stam users, they get to go ahead and, you know, they can clip up really quick in their animation cancellation, their heavy attacks, and drop the ability, especially with two-hand bonus, man. So a lot of people have been, like, talking about, like, dual wield and execute and how two-handers, whatever. But, you know, the funny thing about this is, I want to say it's follow-up, yeah. When you successfully fully charge heavy attacks, it increases the damage of your next attack by 5% for 7 seconds. Don't need the executes with as much as what the follow-up offers in a lot of builds in PvE. A lot of people don't want to stray away from two-hand. Two-hand, it's not the issue of, you know, it offers the AoE weave. It's kind of like the lightning staff. The problem of it is the mechanics in dungeons. A lot of them have you know, if you're in close, you're exposed. So then all of a sudden you pull back out of a mechanic, your DPS starts dropping down, right? Because you're running, you know, a two-hander. And when you run two-hander, you have hardly next to nothing for ranged abilities. That's the problem with two-handing in PvE. It's not necessarily the damage output. It's just saying, you know, in trials you can get around it. But a lot of people are like, oh, dual wield, well, has the execute passive. And it's like, okay, well, great. You know, yeah, you're right. But it doesn't have follow-up. Follow-up's going to increase the damage. So if I'm doing the heavy attacks, if I'm using the Sunder set on top of a dual wield set, all of a sudden my heavy attacks is going to expose, right? And then all of a sudden magnify, you know, damage output. No, I don't need dual wield on builds like that. That's where Stam DK two-hander is really powerful, and a lot of people are like, for PvE. I mean, a lot of Stam DK builds are running two-hander bow or two-hander dual. Dual, not really so much. They just go ahead for, like, if they're running a static and then a proc. But most of them running two statics with no monster set these days, because all of a sudden they can do a heavy attack. They can lay down their endless hail. They can throw down their caltrops, their deraded effects. All of a sudden they go into two-hand, and DKs don't have execute. So all of a sudden you put them with the two-hander. Now they have a finisher now, and all of a sudden they have an AoE. Light, they have a follow-up, they're magnifying their damage output, that applies to their dot damage, and it's like, for a Stam DK, two-hander is very attractive. It's very attractive. Problem of it is, does the mechanic, if you go two-hander dual with a proc, it doesn't necessarily always work in your advantage in PvE. You always kind of need a bow, and it's kind of like, I hate mechanics for that reason. It's just like, ouch, you know. I tried a two-hander duel before, and it deals a nice amount of damage. Problem of it is, the mechanics will just eat you alive. Mechanics will just screw you. I hate these queues, man. I really hate these queues. I should be getting tons of friggin' queues, but I didn't turn in yet either. We'll see, though. We'll see. I'll test it out. I'll let you guys know. I'm kind of interested. If any of you guys have any like knowledge on this, please leave a feedback. I'm curious. I'm kind of caught a little off guard with this whole concept, because the 30-second duration and the synergy, because the tooltip's not indicating, you know, a CD effect. So I'm kind of like unaware. Like, okay, well, am I looking at the CD, or is it applied or not applied? I mean, what's the deal? You know, what's the deal with that? So I want to know, because with, like I said, Twilight's Remedy, I think it's just going to be a really great setup for this, but I got 10 seconds. I have 10 seconds to worry about. It's what I have to worry about. And with this skill, I have a 32-second duration. So does the synergy, how frequent can they synergize? What's the cooldown effect versus the duration is my question, and what I'm wondering. If it's within reason and it can be synergized within the duration without a recast, that to me is going to be the best effect. It's like, okay, sweet. But if it's a trigger effect, oh shit. if it's a trigger effect, I'm kind of like, fuck. One second. Instead of hitting my blue balls today, it'll be hitting my synergies. Please hit my synergies. I need you to hit my synergies. That's all I've been asking for since I was a tad boy. Help me. Fuck that healer. I think it's working. I think. I don't know. I wish I was on PC right now with this setup. I don't have any of my trial sets on my PC yet. It's so sad. I'm getting ready, but now my PC took a little bit of an issue. I've got to get thermal paste. I kind of live in a rural area, so I have to order my thermal paste. I'll be down probably a couple days. I'm hoping that'll fix the issue. If not, I'm looking at having to get another CPU potentially. Oh, I see your comment. I'll check it out here in a minute. And I'm really hoping that's not going to be the issue. Either that or I'll be on Twitch doing a fundraiser for some new hardware for myself. And I don't do Twitch. I have Twitch, but I've never Twitched. Please get the strangler in the back. I like it with the DK setup. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's pretty badass, especially when it's gonna come down to the morph. I think it's gonna be really nice. Somebody get that fucker off me. Thank you. Too easy. Too easy. Get this thing off me. Watch me, I'll pull both of these fuckers. I will. Hi. I know, we're gonna do this boss too. It's gonna be so awesome. Okay, guys, I brought some friends. Yes! We can do it! Yes, we can! Did I ever tell you guys, like, my healer does, like, nobody drops with the DK? I love my DK healer. I love it because people are like, it's trying to be a thing. Okay, sure. I love him. He's my favorite. I actually, Nightblade's my favorite, but This dude gets requested for a reason. Some players will just be like, I need your DK healer. I'm like, really?
Well fought.
Do 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 do. I do wish the shielding though was slightly different between the tank. Like on my tank, I'm using the same one I use for the DK healer, and I wish it was different. Like I wish there was one that scaled health, and the one that scaled health didn't apply the major mending. Like it scaled health, and that's why you want to take it as a tank. And this one, you know, gives you the major mending, but at the same time, it has a different effect to the shielding system. It scales like max magicka or something, you know, and that would give you a little bit more ample opportunity why you want to separate the two. Okay, let me see your comments. Let me try to sneak on here while they're in between shit. Stupid phone. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm sneaking on. Okay, let's go over here. Is DK healer easier than Nightblade? Yeah, okay, yeah. Is DK, easier than Nightblade? No. DK is actually a lot harder to, learn. It's probably one of the hardest, healers to get down. Because if you fuck it up, people die. The Nightblade healer is fast-paced. DK kind of plays like a traditional healer in the essence. Look at that! Oh, shielding for the win! But in the same essence, it's the most rewarding for me personally. Like, I have an easier time with any other healer. When I first was doing things, I had an easier time with all the other healers versus the DK for multiple reasons. But the DK is definitely the most rewarding once you get it down. Can somebody please get this thing? Yeah, and if that's true about the one per cast, like, is it per cast? Like, do I have to cast it every 10 seconds? If that's the case, then I have to, you know, put 10-second rotation in, knowing I have a 1.5, so every 8 seconds is going to need a recast for synergy uptime. Once again, I have a large group. I will use the barrier on this occasion. Out for a little reprieve. we go. So, like, if there was the case, like, I would recast now. Keep that uptime. That would be very important if that's the case per activation. Excuse me. Okay, 1 second. I see you guys' comments. Well, of course.
You won't stop me.
Well, I love it when it still does it, even though I roll out of the mechanic. Okay. DK healing's easy once you get it down. Like, once you get it down and you know your shit, it's the easiest healer to roll. You put me in a trial with a good Templar, it's hard for people to die. That's when you get it down. I mitigate the damage, I heal the offset. Offer, utilities as best as I can throughout the rotation. Get the Templar down, who's doing, higher end utilities, and then you got something completely unique. Rotation, getting that war horn and making sure your resources are manageable too. Their ultimate's kind of important too for the DK. See, every time I see a mechanic like that, I want to go ahead and drop it. Get this fountain down. nobody's gonna die. There it is.
Not the end.
Actually, yeah, this is actually pretty good. I actually need this. Is this the one hand? Sweet. Yeah, actually, cool. Impen. All right. Let me go ahead. I'll drop group. Check out some comments. Yeah, it's kind of going to be interesting. And I appreciate that feedback because I'm curious. Like I said, this isn't an ability I use much. Yo, Miss David, what's up? What's up, Mass? Save the pugs. Yes, Lewis, save them. As I said before, pretty sure each member can cast the synergy when they are below a certain percentage of health, once per cast of the skill. So I don't have to do a hard cast then, because of the 10 seconds. So if that's the case, and we'll have to take a look at it, it would be 8.5 seconds you'd have to do a recast. It's 40 to 62%, depends on morph. Okay, thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, this is where I love my community. This is where I love you guys, because on situations like this, this is what I really like to do. Figure out, communicate, especially about these type of things, and if you're going to be using it, because I really want this to work. And if I have to do an 8.5 seconds in a dungeon, it's not going to matter so much, but in a trial, the 8.5, whether I have, and finding out whether the health drop, what the health drop is, because if their health drop, if it's dependent on their health drop, it's almost, that becomes an issue, right? For that to be a viable synergy to apply the remedy effect. I want a synergy that everybody can sync in with, ideally. Which Burning Talons, like I said, but it only applies to one, right? It's not a group synergy. It doesn't offer like my Nightblade. I can put Twilight's Remedy on my Nightblade healer, and you offer like Soul Tither. Everybody can activate Soul Tither, right? And that would be great. But everything else is single target synergy, and that's where I kind of want the Blood Fountain to be viable. Okay, bouncing off. It should be off. I know what you're saying. Bouncing off what Marcus said. If the synergy can only proc when someone is at a certain health percentage, then as a healer you would need them to drop health. Right. So that's another thing I want to test for later on. If that is the case, it's kind of interesting. I saw it was a typo. Marcus, I'm not sure if you always can use the synergy. Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out, Marcus. I'm trying to figure out, do you have to we have a 32-second duration, right? Does the synergy have, is the synergy based on a cooldown effect, or is it based off the spell? Because if that's the case, then it would be less attractive as far as say if I could recast. If it's a trigger effect, right, that means like you said, it would be a health percentage drop. That's a trigger, right? So a certain effect has to happen for the synergy to proc. Then we know it's not a durated effect. It's not based off the duration. It's based off the trigger. If it's based off of the ability, then we'd have to have an 8.5 second recast, even though we are looking at a 32-second duration, because we'd want to keep the uptime high if it's not a trigger effect. But if it's a trigger effect, then yeah, you're right. That, and being a health percentage, who wants to drop a percent in health to proc the effect? Who wants that? Yeah, synergy has the cooldown. That's for sure. But is the CD applied to the duration? That's what I'm wondering. Because we have a 32-second duration. Is the cooldown? I wish they would imply this into the tooltip. Give me a heads up. Okay, you can do this. They can synergize with it every so many seconds, or as their health gets out. Because if it has a CD, now here's the thing, Marcus. If it has a cooldown, there shouldn't be a trigger effect. There shouldn't be. Shouldn't. But if it has a trigger and a cooldown, I'm just saying it shouldn't. Morning Mustang, what's up, man? I definitely want to test this out. I want to play with it. I'm definitely gonna get my boys involved. We're gonna play with it. We're definitely wanting to play with. I want this to work. I really want a reason where Blood Altar becomes an attractive skill to use, and Twilight's would be good if it's applicable. If health percentage is applied, that becomes questionable to me. It's like, ouch, you know? And a single target synergies is kind of the sucky part with Twilight. Twilight's is good, but, you know, at the same time, it's kind of like only one person can get it at a time. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth exploring, Marcus. I actually like your and Ya's feedback. You guys are Yamastein. I definitely think you guys make some good points here, like really good points. Like these are the things I need to take a look at. I really need to take a look at and say, okay, is this a spell that's been neglected that could be resourceful with a set like this? And that's kind of where I want to play with it. I want to try a new trick. I want to see. I'm always challenging myself, so I really want to take a look at it. And it's good in PvP for defense. Oh yeah, without a doubt, right? Without a doubt. But I want to see if I can use it in a nice PvE situation. You know, I mean that's kind of where I want to go with it. 600 per second. It's your boy Frost Nipple. Dude, Swig, you're crazy. You're crazy, Swig. Everybody, if you guys don't know, Mass's Swig. He's a friend of mine on PS. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm going to have to do more testing on it. Get my dudes to go in and find out if we can, conceive whether or not it's resourceful enough with Twilight's Remedy. If it's not, it's worth a try. I always say, try something new. Try it. I mean, look, I'm on a DK healer. A lot of people don't even understand the power behind the DK healer. They don't get it. But the DK healer, very powerful healer. It's not the easiest to play. I will tell players that. You don't come into Elder Scrolls as a first-time healer and just decide, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to try the DK healer. You better pay attention to a lot of guides. Me and Ilola is really good. She's really good DK. And she has all, different setups for her builds, and I would recommend people check her out. She's really good with DK healer. She did it. I think she did it before me. I want to say almost 95% sure that she did it before me. And then I want to say I'm a good reference. There's another person who does it really good too, but you would want to check them out because DK healers is not the easiest of builds to play. Morning, Rock. But it is the most rewarding for me. I really, 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 really love the DK healer, especially in group play. In group play, it shines so much. It's like, holy crap. And when players actually get a chance to play with me with that role, they request you for a reason. You know that class, you know how to play it, and they'll just be like, yes, I think we got a healer, and then all of a sudden they pull you in, and then there's always like one or two people in there who's never ran with you, and they'll be like, what the fuck is this? Is this the the DK? There's my thing from my vet sanctum. Like, oh, don't do it. What do you do? Do you do vet trials? La, 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 la. And all the people, and yeah, sure, whatever. There's my gold fucking Twilights, and then there's a fucking title up here somewhere. Fucking something. I don't give a fuck. Ophidian Overlord. Suck my dick. I don't care. Like I said, I don't do trials a lot, though. I only do it when I need gear. I do need to get back into Vet Mall. I'm looking for an axe. And something else. Or something else I was looking for. I don't know if I want that impen. I don't use a lot of impen headpieces. Fuck it. I'll buy it if I need it. It's just taking up bag space at the moment. The Light Speakers is actually a really good set, by the way, guys. I don't like, people are always saying, you know, something about BIS for healers, and I'm like, actually, you'd be surprised. If you wanted to actually increase healing on, you know, your resto abilities, this is the set that increases resto staff spells a shitload. Like, I'm like, okay, let's say you're not going to run Spell Power Cure. You really want to amp up your fucking resto staff heals. You want Light Speakers. You fucking do. Oh, it's evening where you're at, Marcus? All day go to Demex. Okay. So Envy, that's another DK healer, I take it. So if he knows, I would say any good DK healer information you can get out there. If you're curious about DKs, I would always tell people check them out. If they know, if the DK has run vets, they're pretty good, and if they've ran trials, they're even better. And I would always tell people check out DKs who you know have experience in those contents, and they're worth it. Like, you know, I run DK in trial. Like, if I heal, like 50% of my healing in trials is with my DK. You know, then I do Nightblade and then Templar. And Sork, I just got started. And Warden, of course, you know, if I want to take him in. Man, you should have been on ESO before the craft bag. Thanks, Rock. Talk about lack of storage. Right. Yeah, when they came out with increased bake space, I was like, I couldn't do content. Like, my dudes are like, do you want to run some shit? And I'm like, no. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because I have no fucking where to put anything. I got fucking all these sets. I'm a fucking pack rat, as you guys can see. I have every monster set at my disposal. I have like two characters I don't play because they're my pack holders. They have gear stacked up in them that I don't use a lot. So I don't know. Here's a divine. I don't think I'm ever going to see, because this is why. Stamina and spell crit. Yeah, I'll never use this set. It's never going to fucking happen. Hybrid stuff. Tons of Velodrift, and I got Velodrift on other shit. Tons of it. Yeah, that's one of the sort of weapons I've been looking for too. Okay. So let me go ahead. We'll finish up some conversations, and then I'll definitely have to wait till my boys get on tonight to take a look at it and see what's going down. Bag space was a huge problem. There were no guild traders yet, so only way to sell and buy was trade via face-to-face, and so slow. Yo, fuck that. So getting gold to buy mounts, bag space was very hard to do. Yeah, no. And think about that too. If you were on console, you only had like literally voice chat. You didn't have like typing or anything. That would have sucked. That would have been so fucking brutal, man. I would have probably like wanted to be like, please put a fork in me, please. I'm fucking done. Like I said, there's a reason I didn't jump in this game in the beginning, because I already knew. Oh, I don't use this set anymore. I'm gonna scrap it. I know I'm scrapping fucking gold shit, but I don't use any of this shit no more, and that's why I unlocked it. It's intentionally supposed to get scrapped. But, yeah, crazy. And there's a lot of things I think with this new changes and stuff I'm trying to take a look at. Not a lot's going to change with some of my builds. Some of my builds will. I might go double stack on some of my builds. My healers, I primarily heal. I do have DPS builds. I have tank builds. But I primarily heal. It's more what I'm known for. But, I do DPS. I do tank. I do a lot of shit. I have 16 tunes. I keep pretty busy. I keep very, very busy. This deathmatch set's pretty badass, though. But yeah, that's going to be... I think that's interesting. They should have put it on the tooltip, how the synergy is applied. I understand how the minor lifesteal is applied. I understand the duration. I really want to know how the synergy, is affected. How is it triggered? How long is the cooldown for? Can it be procced twice within the duration, multiple times within its duration? If not, then will I have to do a hard cast because of the Twilight's remedy? If it's based on health percentage, then this might not be very effective at all. It might actually be, counterproductive depending on other options in your rotation. So a lot of things I want to take a look at with this, and I want to test it. I want to find out, because this is a skill, like I said, I typically didn't use because I found it very great. Minor lifesteal, yes, great. There's this. But other than that, what's the appeal for this spell? And now with Twilights, it's kind of like it has potential, but is it, feasible? Is it a spell that makes it like, oh yes, I'm going to pair this with Twilights. I can do this on every healer. This ability set with every healer. And that's what I want to find out. And I was like, okay, we're going to test it. And I actually appreciate all your guys' feedbacks. This is why I love you guys. This is why I appreciate you guys being a part of my community. Because my real subs and my real viewers, you guys give me a lot to think about. And it's appreciated. I was told, somebody had said, I have a high-end ego. And I'm like, nah, not really. I don't have pride. I'm not a prideful person. And for the people who actually are wanting to go ahead and contribute something like you guys just did, I take that serious. I take my real community members serious because they bring up good points and they're doing it in an intelligent manner. And they will say, yes, this is applied, or what? No, I don't think so. You might want to test it. Did you try this? We communicate. And that's what I'm looking for in a community. Not trolls, not people who think they know, or even, ones that can give me a conversation. We can have dialogue. And with that, I can admit I admit my wrongs. I have no problem admitting my wrongs. None whatsoever. I'm human. I can make mistakes. So, and this is something I'm not going to bank on. I'm not going to say that this is an absolute, because I want to feed it into you guys, get as much information from my community, and then do the testing, figure it out, and see if we can get something unique going on in the game that maybe has been overlooked, or relatively is, it is what it is. It's not really worth having. But once again, guys, I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments, post below. I want to thank everybody for watching today. And once again and always, have a nice day.